Hey guys, meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this mountain weather update. This is the On the Snow Before You Go forecast. Here's what I'm seeing over the next 7 days roughly. The next storm system is 117 continuing into 118 with a nice west-northwest flow for a lot of British Columbia, Washington, Idaho, Montana, Utah, Wyoming, Colorado. So that's where some of the best new snow is going to be into 118, and probably there's still snow there. That's good on 119 as well. Then a whole new pattern starts to shift into the west, a Pacific pattern. And when you look at air masses, they tend to take on the characteristics of their origin, and the Pacific is warmer. We're going to see a warmer pattern across the west with waves of moisture moving in. So it's just a totally different pattern than what we've seen recently with all that Arctic air. That just will not be the case through 126, and that's 119 through 126. It's also going to have a strong subtropical jet stream as well. I'll show you why that's important coming up in a second. Here's my spider chart, odds of best snow next 7 days. So there are definitely areas with more purple higher on the web. That's your better odds of new snow. That's Colorado, that's Wyoming, the Tetons, that's the Wasatch, that's parts of BC, parts of Washington. Those areas are going to be higher on the web. Some of the lower areas are the Northeast. I don't have much snow there. Another area would be parts of Idaho, potentially just light to moderate snow in Idaho. Even in Montana, I mean, we're looking at light to moderate accumulation, so nothing huge, at least over the next 7 days. All right, let me take you into my water vapor. This is the water vapor satellite imagery here this morning. Oranges and reds represent drier air. The moisture aloft is in the whites and in the blues. And here's the storm. You can see it moving through the interior, coming out of the Pacific Northwest in BC. And it's basically following this line, this west-northwest flow all the way down through the interior states. That's what's going to deliver that efficient snow to Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, Pacific Northwest and BC. Now behind it, you can see this. This is just a giant trough, a big area of low pressure. This is what becomes that warmer Pacific pattern. It moves in behind this area of low pressure, 119 through 126. Here's the forecast radar and satellite. So that's the situation by tomorrow morning. There's 118 in the morning. Snow continues in blue. Idaho, Montana, the Tetons, the Wasatch, and in Colorado. And it stays, it kind of lingers in the Tetons and in the central to northern mountains of Colorado through 118 in the afternoon. Here comes the next storm system. This represents a pattern change. 119 through, like I said, 126. All it is going to be storm system after storm system affecting the west coast, and then pieces or waves of energy will move into the interior. There's an area of low pressure that takes a southern track on 121 to 122, but then we're back to that same thing with just waves of moisture moving out of the off the west coast and into the interior through 122, 123, 124, and beyond. Let me show you what the jet stream pattern is going to look like with this. So this is 118. This is on the very back end of that storm system on 117, 118. You can see the jet, that west-northwest flow moving away. And what is moving in? It's that strong subtropical jet stream. Look at it coming off the Pacific. So that'll definitely open the door for warmer air and higher snow levels. Here we are by 120, powerful jet coming off the Pacific, blowing in moisture, storm systems, and just warm air. The cold air is locked up into Canada. We're not going to have access to that for a while. Here's the jet by 126, and it looks impressive. It's very amplified and wavy, but again, there's just no cold air with this. You've got a storm system sliding through New Mexico, Colorado, the Four Corners, and moving through, but again, just a real lack of cold air with this type of pattern. All right, let's talk about snow totals. So this is 118 through 125. Keep in mind, you'll have snow from 117 into 118 in the Tetons, in the Wasatch, in Colorado, and probably in parts of Montana as well. And then we get into that Pacific pattern, 119 through 125, where the snow levels are probably going to be at least 8,500 feet or higher in the Sierra. So when you see those numbers of 10 to 20 inches, you really have to be at 8,500 feet or higher for a lot of those numbers. Mount Shasta will do well. Look at Washington and BC, especially in Whistler and down to Baker and Stevens, 1 to 3 feet less in Bachelor. You know, looking at the Wasatch, 1 to 2 feet certainly seems possible to me. You're going to have spillover snow into 118, and then you've got another batch of snow coming in 119 through 125. In Colorado, look at the numbers there, anywhere from potentially 6 to 15 inches of grand total snow during that period. Let me just show you what the Northeast looks like here. I don't have anything really organized, no big storm systems, so probably 3 to 8 inches will do it through most of Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, between 118 and 125. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this On the Snow Before You Go forecast. Take care and have fun.